All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to Blame Your Brother, episode 247. We are back once again to talk to you for the next hour or so, streaming live on YouTube every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So come hang out with us if you have not done so. You might enjoy it. You might make some new friends in the live chat. Who knows? But we are Blame Your Brothers, two of us that come to you every week. I'm one half of that duo. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget, Mr. Wonderful, and this gentleman sitting over here to my left, it is John.
Hey everybody, John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
All right, so a lot to get into today. Today, Mount Rushmore of coolest album covers. So it's ought to be a good one, John. How much research did you put into this?
I mean, there's some that were, I mean, when you just sit down and really think about it, there's some that come to your mind. So,
oh, for sure,
a lot of those made my list. There's a few that I did research for, and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. That made my list. But most of them were ones that I already knew about. That I was like, oh yeah, that one's got to go.
Well, I don't have my list. I thought I brought it, but I don't have it. But like you said, I think I've got it for the most part. So we'll see. May have to throw an audible in there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be a good discussion. There's some cool album covers out there for sure. So we will get to that in a little bit. But we'll start off like we do every week, just recapping the past week. John, anything going on with you? Any wild stories?
No, not really.
Well, that's good. All right. Yeah, I was telling you before it started. Had a COVID scare this past week. My daughter goes to a daycare, and we found out that one of the kids there, who wasn't there most of the week, but was there one day they were there, she had COVID, and my daughter's had like a cold. You know, I was like, oh boy, here we go. So I was like, she has COVID, you know, but she didn't have a fever. She wasn't acting like lethargic or anything like that. So I went out. So we went and got her tested.
It's
and
so hard to tell with kids that small.
It's crazy, right? So we go there. You got to wait like an hour just for your appointment time. Then you go back and wait another like 30 minutes to an hour. It was anyway. While we're there, there is a baby. I don't know this at the time because I'm in the room, but my wife left because our sons were out in the van with us. So she went to go check on them, and she comes back, and her face just like white. You know, I'm like, what's going on? I hear like a nurse on the phone with the hospital, but I'm figuring, okay, well, are they bringing someone here? I don't understand why, but apparently there was a child, an infant with Down syndrome. It stopped breathing in the room next to us, and oh my God, dude, I almost started crying. Like it was insane. Luckily I could hear the baby crying after that. So I guess they were, I don't know. But anyways, we got the COVID test. That's another 2-day turnaround. So the whole weekend we're like, well, we're stuck in. We had plans to go do things, but not anymore. And the best call I got was Monday. It was like, oh no, your child doesn't have COVID. I went, oh, thank God, man. So yeah, that's fun. I just, you know, I'm getting back to this. You know, I work with a guy whose father is, and this guy is an anti-vaxxer, like openly anti-vaxxer. And we found out his father's dying of COVID. He's in the hospital on a ventilator, probably not going to make it. And it's just sad that we've come to the point now where all these conservative talk show hosts are starting to die. What is it going to take? I don't know anymore. Like, these people are taking horse dewormer, however you say that word.
Dewormer. Yeah.
Dewormer. They're taking that rather than get the vaccine. So much that it's sold out across the country. I forget the medical term for it. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But, like, this is their thing they're doing now. So you don't trust the vaccine from the government.
Or scientists.
And you'll take this horse medicine. It's like, I can't even... I'm at the point I can't wrap my head around it, dude. I'm just like confused about where are we at in this country where stupidity is a platform now.
I mean, it's akin to the, you know, when you have to tell people not to drink Lysol.
Yeah, right? I guess we always say, why are those warning labels on things? That's why. So your daughter went to the ER?
Yeah, she Sunday night.
Oh boy.
It was right after I got to work. Robin called me and she said that Emily's right eye was like basically swollen shut.
Oh
Like,
no.
what happened? She's like, I'm not sure. They were playing by the dishwasher and maybe she got some soap or something in her eye, but she had to take her to the ER. And I mean, the state of the world. They got there at like around 12:30.
Right.
They didn't leave until like almost 6:30 in the morning.
What? I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
Your wife was at the hospital for 6 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is.
And it's just like the thing is like if it wasn't for everybody not taking the proper precautions, these emergency rooms wouldn't be so full.
Right. For sure. Yeah, right.
And people would be able to get in and get out. So, I mean, they're not just like kind of screwing over themselves and putting themselves in danger. Just the amount of people that they're spreading this to. And also, people with completely unrelated illnesses that need medical attention aren't getting it because...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
stupidity. I mean...
you mentioned that story about that baby while Robin was there. You know, she kept texting me and let me know what was going on. And she said there was an infant in the room next to them. I'm like, I don't want to hear that story.
Yeah, it's bad
I
times,
was like,
right?
I just don't. Yeah, let's not talk about that one.
Huh. That's crazy, man.
So,
well, okay. Well, your daughter's obviously fine, so I'm glad that
Yeah.
that's, man, having kids is wild. Well, okay. Well, that was the week, so exciting times all around. Let's just start off with a bit of bad news. I don't know if you've even heard the story yet. I just found it before I came to do the show, but we have a rest in peace this week. Daphne Unger of WCW Wrestling fame is dead from apparent suicide. Is the story is very... It's still developing, but she had gone on Instagram Live, was talking very strangely where people were concerned, like people who knew her, strangers, and they started looking for her and no one could find her. And so I guess they found her body today and she's dead. She passed away. Now, if you don't know who that is and you're not a wrestling fan, I'm rocking the WrestleMania shirt here. She was a standout to me when WCW versus WWE on the Monday Night Wars. She kind of came out of that era of wrestling. She was a female. She was a valet at first. She was with a couple people with David Flair, Ric Flair's son. She was like always with him.
Yeah.
And I was in love with this woman. Like that was my
kind of gothish.
That was my number one female celebrity, like wrestling crush at the time. I was like in love with her. It helped that she would wear shirts that say "I love David" on it because she was with David Flair. So I was like, oh yeah, I know. But you know, but she did well in WCW. She went on to work with TNA, I believe. Had that stint for that. Was doing a lot of independent wrestling. Was doing a lot of interviews and things like that. And it's just a really sad story. She was only, I think, 46 years old. I mean, not our age, you know. And it just, I think it hammers to me just, you know, I know every week there's going to be a death most likely. You know, we do these rest in peace, I mean, regularly, you know, and that's the nature of life. I understand as you get older, people pass away, but these type of stories are sad. Like I said last week, I mean, Charlie Watts passes away. Like, all right, man, I mean, you were 80, you were in one of the greatest rock groups of all time.
Lived a wonderful life.
Lived a wonderful life. And you were 80. I mean, like I was saying, if you get to 80, it's you're playing with the house money at that point. I'll look at it. I mean, obviously when we're 80, we'll probably see it differently, but maybe, I don't know. This was a woman who's 46 years old, probably, you know, was still important in the wrestling scene. I watch wrestlers today. Nikki Cross is one in WWE who reminds me a lot of her mannerisms, and I guess they were kind of close. They would talk to each other, so I can see that. So I don't know. It's just a reminder to me that we interact with people all the time on a daily basis, and I feel this is one of the big differences right now between what the conservative party has turned into versus the other side of the aisle. Is we don't really empathize with people anymore. And I'm saying a large portion of that conservative crowd, but even people in general.
Yeah.
You're not always empathizing with people. You're not understanding where they're coming from. You're not worrying about their mindset because we're just selfish people at the core. Everyone is. You know,
Yeah.
it's embedded in our DNA. We must survive, right?
Well, that, I mean, the first, few years of your life, the world revolved around you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's survival, right? I mean, you have to, when you're in the airplane, if things start happening and those oxygen masks come down, you got to put yours on first, where you can help other people. But, this has turned into, we're just unaware the amount of arguments we have as society with people online. The things I've read that people say to each other online, sometimes
It's
John,
disgusting.
I've been on the internet now since I was a teenager. I'm still shocked at the things people type out to other people. It's insane to me. And it's a lack of empathy for other people. And
You'd think that'd be the other way around, because you'd think like, okay, in order to just type something, it takes more time to than just blurt something out.
right, yeah,
And so, I mean, the fact that there's a low level of intention
oh yeah,
when something is typed out.
yeah. Especially like you're right. So like we used to be in chat rooms, and so you could understand letting some stuff fly, right? I mean,
Yeah.
these are people like you said on Twitter, on Facebook, on name your social media platform who take the time to type these messages out. They look at them and they think, this is good. I'm going to tear someone down, calling them, just name it. I mean, the safest things they call people is ugly, fat, stupid. That's the first level of insults.
Yeah.
They get worse. And I think when we look at someone like Daphne, I mean, if you were just to ask someone like, what is her mindset, and you're not someone that keeps up with you guys, she's probably doing good. She's on social media. She's posting all the time. She's doing her live stream. She's doing this and that. And it's like the Robin Williams thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Once you mentioned her, I thought of Robin Williams.
I mean, it's like no one ever, I mean, people obviously, I believe, listen to interviews when people really close to him kind of knew that struggle, but the majority of us had no idea.
yeah.
I just thought, man, this dude would be annoying in person. Like, and you don't, and that's what I'm saying. That's an assumption about someone. Like, and so we really should take the time to listen to people better. I mean, obviously a stranger's not going to be able to help a celebrity with their problems. I mean, I understand that, but
But I mean, for every celebrity
Yeah.
that does this, how many everyday people
yeah.
are doing the same thing?
Well, I've seen a lot of stuff today about suicide hotline. A lot of people have been tweeting out about it. Before I read about this, I don't know if that's like today is National Suicide Awareness, and if it is, what a weird cross points for this to happen on this day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but maybe that was on her mind, But it's just like these people get to this point where they like Anthony Bourdain, they don't see a way out. They don't see past that moment right there, and it's crazy. I mean, me saying it or anyone saying it, but if you're struggling with that, there's people to talk to. Like, even if you don't have someone directly to talk to, there's numbers to call. There's people that can help you walk through it, but easier said than done. When you're in it, when anything's happened to you, that's the weight of it is on you, right? You can't, not even suicide. Like, when a bad thing happens to you, you feel the weight of that. Like, nothing else exists in the world. I'll say when I get like really sick, like I haven't been sick in a while, but when I get sick from like the flu or whatever, I feel like I can't focus on anything but my condition. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel bad as I'm older now and I have kids. I can't even like focus on my kids when I'm sick. And I hate that. I hate that feeling. That times a million is what people going through situations like this are. So it's really a tragic story. It's, and I don't know if anything could have been done to prevent it, but it's just tragic when people, feel there's nobody to talk to. There's no way out. And it's really a bummer of a story. It's a different rest in peace than someone who's lived a full life. I mean, this woman still had years ahead of her, know? So I don't know what she was going through. I was a fan, and I did keep up with her occasionally, like many years ago. And like I said, as being a fan of wrestlers, I would keep up with them. I've kind of stopped doing that for the most part, but I don't know, just sad, rest in peace, So, well, let's jump off that story. I want to get to, man, this story here kills me. All right, we all know Punky Brewster, right? Soleil Moon Frye, right? Yeah. All right, beautiful. Everyone our age probably had a crush on her, I would imagine. I just saying that. Oh my God, I can't even say. Do you know who she's dating? Do you know who this guy is on the screen right there, John? Do you know who that guy is right there? I'm looking at a guy with a lot of face tattoos, a baseball hat. That is the singer from Crazy Town with the hit single Butterfly. You're my butterfly, sugar baby. That's who Punky Brewster is dating. John, you got to walk me. You got to walk me off the ledge of this because this isn't right. What is with these girls and these scummy scumbag guys that they're into? I always talk about Travis Barker to me. I understand Travis Barker of Blink-182. He is one of the most phenomenal drummers in rock and roll today. I understand that. He looks like he has the personality of a bar stool. I mean, like, there's just nothing there. And like, he's dated the Kardashians, he's dated models, and I'm like, what is going on with these people? What is it, John, as the relationship guy who used to give advice? What is going on in these situations? Because I don't know. I don't understand anymore. I understand when you're younger, you want to date bad boys. I get it. So Lil Mount Fry is like our age, man. Like, you got to drop the nonsense when you become an adult. Like, when I was an adult, I put away childish things. What is your summary of this situation? I mean, I don't even understand it, man. Like, I can't wrap my head around it.
I think when someone if you have the audacity to permanently scar your own face with ink,
right?
There's a level of I don't give a damn that exudes from you.
Yeah.
And some people view that as confidence. And I mean, I've always said that I think the biggest attraction for women is someone that was confident.
Really? No,
and I
can see that.
That's the only thing I could think of. And I mean, you would think that when you get to a certain point in your life, like in your 40s, Miss Brewster, that you'd be able to see real confidence versus.
The guy is a scumbag. Okay, so have I seen Crazy Town live? I did one time. I did not actively go to see the band. I went to a festival or some type of outdoor show. There was a bunch of bands playing, and they were on stage playing. And this guy whose name, let me see, I got the story right here. This guy whose name is Seth Benzer, who you may also recognize from Celebrity Rehab. He was not.
Enough said. That should be a red flag right there.
He was not at the show the day I saw him because he was in rehab at the time. He's a drug addict. He struggles with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, look, there are lots of people out there experiencing drug problems. I get it. Okay, like, it happens. I'm just saying, from when I saw him on this Celebrity Rehab show, which I did watch at the time, I loved it. I was just like, this guy, nothing's going on here. Blank behind the eyes, I felt, and I just read the story. So it says here that apparently there's a couple of factors going in here, all right? Seth Benzer has found his new butterfly sugar baby, of course, they would write that. E! News exclusively confirms that the crazy frontman and Salil Moon Fry are dating. Seth is the happiest he's ever been. I bet he is. I mean, dude, anyone our age would love to date Punky Brewster. They inspire each other. The two have been friends since the 8th grade, but it wasn't until recently they took their relationship to the next level. They started leaving flirty messages on each other's social media posts, blah, blah, blah. So, we really worked on our relationship. This didn't just happen overnight, but it says she ended her marriage and says, I'd gone through major transformation. I hadn't even shared certain parts of what I'd gone through with him for so many years. So a lot of the time I feel like when women are in a dark place, a divorce, these guys can come in and kind of be like, Mr., hey, I'm here for you. I mean, look, I hope they last forever, but Lisa Mays says he's probably a charming guy. I did not see it, but I'm not around the guy. Maybe he's different around the ladies, but I had to bring this up. It's children of the 80s. This is just unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable. It's just not cool. I just, that band, it could have been any band, dude. It could have been any band. It was Crazy Town. Like, it's a joke of a band in itself. Like, one of the worst, if we did Mount Rushmore of worst singles of all time, that would definitely be on my list. 100. I hate that song so much. So, all right, let's go to some shaming in the media. Sarah Paulson, you know her. She's an actress. She was on Studio 60 and the Sunset Strip. She's in all the American Horror Stories, which are the first couple seasons were fantastic. Great actress. She is now in the new, it's called American Crime, I believe. If I'm wrong with that, let me know. But it's they did the first season. They did the O.J. Simpson trial. And Sarah Paulson played Marcia Clark. Fantastic job. Cuba Gooding played O.J. Simpson. It was a good show. Schwimmer played Kardashian. It was great. It was kind of cheesy, but kind of good. Well, this season they're focusing on the Monica Lewinsky Bill Clinton trial. And Sarah Paulson is playing Linda Tripp. Now, if you know what Sarah Paulson looks like, she is not a large woman at all. So Tripp was a larger lady. And so she's had to wear a fat suit to do the role. So you already know where this is going, right? So apparently social media is very upset about this. They think that only larger people should be playing larger roles. So this is our chance as old white men to sound off on this nonsense. Now, I would say, number one, Sarah Paulson is an out lesbian. So does that mean she can only play lesbian roles? I mean, where do we stop this at? Because Marcia Clark was obviously straight. I don't know what Linda Tripp is. I assume she's straight. But anyway, where does this stop? I mean, I understand. Look, if you cast a white guy as Martin Luther King Jr., that would be a problem. Okay, that would be a major problem. Now, did this used to happen in old Hollywood? Yes. White people played black people. It was wrong. It was blackface, all that stuff. Are we at the point now where we're saying that you can, I mean, this is like Tropic Thunder stuff we're getting into. I mean, I really believe it is like, where is the nonsense level out here? It's a fat suit. It's been done in movies over and over and over again, mostly for comedic effect, honestly. I mean, you look at Eddie Murphy, the Crumps. You had Ryan Reynolds, where he was
Just Friends.
You had the one Shallow Hal, where Gwyneth Paltrow was wearing a fat suit. I mean, where does this stop, dude? Thor was in a fat suit. The Avengers.
I mean, actually, and then sometimes you don't know that they're wearing a fat. Downsized, Matt Damon had to wear a fat suit.
Okay, This Is Us. Toby wears a fat suit.
There you go.
Is this where we're at, man? Like, we got problems in Louisiana. We got, storms coming around, knocking power out, killing people. We got storms here locally that ravaged the entire neighborhood. We have Afghanistan, American soldiers dying. We have COVID spreading, people dying. Tennessee now is the #1 state in the U.S. per capita of COVID cases. Is this what people are focusing their energy on? That Sarah Paulson, who has since apologized that she wore the fat suit. What is the other option here? They wanted her to do it. She has been tied to these people that make these shows. She's been in all of them, John.
Also, I mean, I look at her in full makeup and everything. She looks a lot like Linda Tripp.
She does, yeah.
And of the bigger actresses that I know, she looks more, Sarah Paulson, the way she's done up, looks more like Linda Tripp than any of those other actresses.
Right.
does.
I mean, who would the other, Rebel Wilson, Melissa McCarthy?
Well, Rebel Wilson's probably too thin now.
I guess. I mean, Melissa McCarthy, is that the go-to now? Is that the only person that can play an overweight person that's like an A-list, B-list actress?
Edie on Saturday Night Live now. I can't remember her last name.
Yeah, she's got her own.
But she doesn't look. She doesn't look like her.
Man,
so.
People have lost their damn minds, man. I'm just telling you.
I mean, guess what? In movies, no more makeup.
Right.
No more.
So if you play a superhero, I mean, I could go on forever. It's stupid. It just makes no sense.
And the thing is like, if I were a casting director, I would be more impressed with someone who could pull off the role, do the acting, than someone who was like dead on look like the person.
I mean, the whole point of acting is like you just said, someone who can play the role, someone who can bring weight to the role. But this is just, I mean, people are literally like outraged at this.
I mean, would you rather wear somebody who knew what they were doing as a mechanic, but they were wearing a button-up shirt, or somebody who was dressed like a mechanic, but could barely change their oil?
Right, yeah.
Which one would you rather have working your car?
There you go. I don't know. This is just, I don't even think, at this point, is this even real outrage? I mean, because it feels like it's not. It feels like it's people just wanting to be retweeted. They will just want to go viral, and they say, man, if I can pick this story, if I can make it my own, I'll be famous for 2 minutes, if that, maybe 30 seconds. I'll be famous for 30 seconds. Not even famous. I mean, just because you had
The thing is no one remembers the name of the person that posted this.
Just because you go viral does not mean you're famous at all. It means nothing. It means you literally just threw something in the wind. This story I will tell you, will not be remembered in 6 months. I guarantee you. We've talked about many things on this podcast. I go back and look sometimes and go, I don't even remember what the story is we're talking about.
The same kind of story happened already with Bryan Cranston playing in as a paraplegic.
Oh, my. The whole
And
point,
it's just
yes.
like, yeah, Bryan Cranston has proven himself as an amazing actor.
Oh, yeah. Top notch. So let him act. If he's got to act that way, then do it. Daniel Day-Lewis is famous for this as well. I'm just sick of the fake rage. Okay, last story. Speaking about like rage across community, Kanye West dropped his anticipated album Donda, which is named after his mother who passed away. And you know me, John. I'm a Kanye West fan. I love Kanye West, the artist. Not even the man is interesting to me. I may not agree with everything he says, but he is an interesting character study. I mean, you can say that. I understand. Yes, most people don't like the man. He
will grab your attention.
Yes. I mean, yes, he wore the Trump hat, the MAGA hat. He's said some crazy things. He had the Mike Myers infamous thing after Katrina. George Bush doesn't care about black people. I was probably right on that one. But look, so he dropped his new album, John. I was super excited. I've been hearing a lot about it. It's been in the works for weeks, right? This album is 1 hour and 48 minutes long.
Wow. That's like twice as long as most albums.
Bro, I can't even get through the album. I've only listened halfway through it and I have to stop. It's not great. There's some good moments in it, but I just feel this man, and this is like true of Elvis or name your famous artist. They're so isolated and insulated from the world. They don't have anyone that can come to them and go, dude, you can't have a 2-hour album that's not a banger.
There's a dose of reality that they're not getting.
Right. And I know he's going through a lot. He just divorced. I think he never got over the death of his mother, who was very important to him. And I understand that. And it's like, but and he's gone through a lot as well. He's a black man in America, but then he, was wearing the MAGA hat. And, and I think a lot of that stuff he did was for publicity. I do believe that 100%. I don't believe this man cares about Donald Trump's message any more than, I do, But one thing these people are good at that do these things is that they can generate publicity. And that, as an artist, is the most important thing you can do. So my quick review of it, it's subpar. But the funny story comes out. So Pitchfork, if you don't know who Pitchfork is the most hipster, most elitist review of music site there is. Okay, like it's hipster. Like sometimes, like yo, I'm a hipster. Then I go read their stuff. I go, oh yeah, no, I'm not a Pitchfork level hipster yet. They reviewed this album and gave it a 60 out of 100. Okay, I mean that's probably fair. Well, they reviewed Peppa Pig album. Yes, I don't know why they reviewed a Peppa Pig album, but they did, and it got a 65. So whoever runs the Peppa Pig account was throwing shade at Kanye West, and they literally tweeted out, yeah, it looks like we got a higher score than you, and we didn't need to hold sold-out shows and arenas across America to do it. Now, they've since deleted that tweet, but then someone screenshotted the tweet, sent it back to Peppa Pig, and all they responded with was a crown, emoji crown. I'm like, this dude is getting bodied by Peppa Pig, man. Look, I'm getting enough Peppa Pig in my life. It's on everywhere, every day. My daughter loves it. Kanye, I don't need Peppa Pig punking you out, man. This is not cool. This is unacceptable. Get it together. Get it together. So, okay. All right. Well, let's talk about real quick, What If? So every week we like to talk about the What If, the Marvel series on Disney Plus. What If takes a situation in the Marvel universe and they flip it around just a little bit to change the story. So What If? Last week was which one was last? What if the Avengers Initiative didn't happen or whatever the story was? It was an interesting show. This week, what if, I don't know how it's worded. Maybe you can tell. What if Doctor Strange had lost his heart instead of his hands?
Yeah.
Was pretty much that'd be the title for it. And it took a look at Doctor Strange. And if you don't know the story of Doctor Strange real quick, Doctor Strange was a very egotistical, self-centered surgeon, best in the world.
I mean, almost worthwhile. I mean, you can say, was he conceited or convinced?
Right.
I mean, he was good.
Yes, he was. I mean, he's the best, right? And he gets into a car accident, loses his hands. He can't use his hands anymore, so he can't operate. So then he goes on a journey, becomes, Sorcerer Supreme, blah, 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 all that. When this episode, his love interest was with him in the car, and she dies in the accident, and that propels him to be Doctor Strange in this world. So I don't want to give too much away. So that's kind of how it's set up. What are your thoughts on where do you rank this one of the 4 episodes we've had? And so you said so far last week, if I got this right, was Captain America your favorite one? No, that was your least favorite one.
No, it was my favorite was the Star-Lord episode.
Okay, Star-Lord number 1.
Then Captain America.
Okay.
And then if the Avengers never happened.
So where does this rank now? John's rankings. We're going to put this out at the end of the...
It was almost... it wasn't giving me a comic book vibe, so it's almost hard to rank it with the other ones. The other ones were very comic booky.
Doctor Strange it's kind of weird, too, because magic sometimes is not very comic book oriented, so it does have a different feel to it.
And it was almost like it reminded me of like Black Mirror, but if it was magic instead of technology.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I'd put it above last week's, but still below Captain America.
Okay, so it's in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I thought when I was watching it, I've watched a bunch of movies. I've been keeping track of movies. I think I've watched over like 100+ movies so far this year. And I watched a movie on Netflix called Two Distant Strangers. And in this movie, Two Distant Strangers, it follows this black man who gets pulled over by a cop and gets killed by the cop. But then he has to relive the day and see if he can not get killed by the cop. And there are some beat for beat moments in that What If episode to that show, that movie, that were insane. I was like, wow, this is just like that movie. You can even argue the ending was kind of similar. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So I would say, okay, if I'm going to rank my top ones. Now, I don't really, I thought the Captain America was good. I really don't remember the ending. I was thinking about that. I was like, what happened at the end? So I would actually rank Captain America the lowest for me. I would say my favorite so far, I mean, call me recency bias. I think this is my favorite one so far. I think it was just, I just liked it. I don't know. I've never seen magic on display like this in the movie.
This was the best display of magic I've seen. Probably just below the Scarlet Witch series.
Yes.
The last few episodes of that.
That's true, yeah.
But it was still better than that.
Right.
If they could do that live action.
Ooh, that's a movie. They're going to have to. He's getting his own movie, so they're going to have to do something. But I would probably rank this one and Star-Lord are really close to each other. Then the Avengers, then Captain America's like my least favorite. But that's to say, I love them all. I think I've told you before, man. I'll say it again. I admit when I'm wrong. I thought the series was going to be a bomb. I really did. I was like, this is not going to be good. And I've been wrong. It has been phenomenal. It's up there with any other Marvel series they've had so far. It's as good as Loki. It's as good as Scarlet Witch. It's probably better than Winter Soldier, Captain America. It's really good. So if you haven't checked it out and you need something to binge, you can watch all 4 episodes, and a new one comes out every Wednesday. But yeah, I'd definitely give this one a big thumbs up. So far, they're doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good stuff there. Okay, well, I guess we've come up now. It's time for the Mount Rushmore of album covers, of the coolest album covers of all time. My God, I wish I had my freaking list. I don't. This sucks. But like I said, I have a definitive few, so I think we're going to be okay. I'll figure out what the other 2 were. Because I know what they are. Okay, so we look at, and the art of the album cover has really taken a dive in the current age, right? I mean, we were little.
Well, now it's like it doesn't even matter.
Not really, no. It doesn't, because you don't really, unless you go out and buy the vinyl or, or CDs. I guess people still occasionally buy those. You're right. You don't really see. You see it on your screen. It's like a small little thumbnail. Back in our day, you got the record or you got the CD, and like
even the cassette. I mean, there was a
you really were like enthralled by it. You're like, this is the God. You could spend hours just looking at art. And there's some phenomenal ones that if you show them just to someone, they're a music fan, you could take the name of the band off. They'll be like, yeah, I know that album. So I'm looking forward to this one, man. This is gonna be a good one. I know all 4 of mine now, so we'll see if I get to all of them. But I believe I go first this week, right? All right. Well, I got to go with, to me, the one that it's been spoofed a lot. You've seen all over the place. It's one of the most iconic. It's led to discussions about if one of the band members is dead. When I go to this place one day,
poor Paul.
I'm gonna Well, I mean, the clone's doing all right. He's doing pretty good. But I got to go Beatles Abbey Road. Is my number one. Like I said, just a classic album cover. I want to go to London so bad for a number of reasons, but I want to just see Abbey Road. I want to walk across Abbey Road. I just, man, the Beatles had some, and they had some good album covers. I mean, they've had some good ones that really stood out. But man, it's kind of funny. This is really, while I say I love the White Album the best, I think Abbey Road's probably their best concentrated album. Now, I've said this about the Beatles over and over again, and it's really rare that, and I look at like Kanye West. Kanye West had classic albums early in his career, and now he's on the back end, and they're not classics anymore. The Beatles continue to get better continuously through their career.
Yeah.
I mean, they never took a dip. It was never like, oh, this album sucked. I mean, I actually don't even listen to their early albums because I'm like, I don't really want to hear Bubblegum Pop from the Beatles. I mean, if I hear the songs on the radio, I love them, but everything from Rubber Soul up is just classic standard. And like this album, the album cover with it's just phenomenal.
It's iconic in a word.
Yes. I mean, like I said, you see that it's been spoofed every which way possible. So.
The Simpsons did it. I mean,
that's one I think of. Yes.
Yeah. So many.
All right. So my number one's Abbey Road by the Beatles. All right, John, what you got?
I don't want to put the same band on the list.
Why not? Do it. It's covers. It's not the band.
I get it, but
it's probably different art directors that did it too.
Definitely, but I'm not going to go with this one. So I am going to go with Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Pink Floyd. For those that don't know, it's a black backdrop with a stream of light hitting a prism, and then when it comes out the other side, it's a rainbow kind of stream.
Yeah.
And it's almost synonymous with the band. When someone mentions Pink Floyd, that's the first one you think of. That's the first album cover you think of.
Oh yeah.
When you see that album cover, you think of Pink Floyd.
And they have some good album covers as well. It's kind of crazy.
They've got quite a few.
Oh, they've got. I mean, I don't know. It's going to make my list. If you're not, definitely not putting additional bands on, or maybe. Wish You Were Here is another good one as well, with the Man on Fire shaking the hand. I thought about putting that one on, but yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. Once again, another just great album. It's kind of weird that I think all of mine are phenomenal albums. I think it's rare. I mean, I'm sure it exists out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this never happens, but most of the time, good album cover, good album. And that was kind of like the selling point when you went into the record store.
I think back then, there was a level of art that went into the album cover, and the band who were writing these songs had a big say in how it was going.
Right. Oh yeah.
And so they wanted that artwork to kind of have an aspect of the art within it.
For sure.
And so I think that's a big part of it.
Well, Paul McCartney talked about that on that series, him and Rick Rubin on Hulu, which I highly suggest anyone to watch. But he said, for Sgt. Pepper, they spent a lot of time working on it. He said, when someone bought the album, I wanted them to be able to look at this album for hours and dissect it. And that's true. And there's
a lot of depiction of very famous people on there that, you might not even catch it the first time you're looking at it.
But it's,
And so, you can keep going back. And also that has been spoofed a bit as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so
I think all these pretty much have, from what I've seen most of the time. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've spoofed some of these doing artwork for the show. So, all right. That's a good one. Dark Side of the Moon definitely was on my list I had. Probably at the bottom, but still a good one. Okay, number 2, I'm going to go with another one of my favorite bands, and we talked about this last week, but Nirvana's Nevermind. I love that album cover, spoofed all over the place. Simpsons, again, spoofed it with Homer Simpson jumping after a donut. It's pretty good. That's why I think of the Simpsons covers when you said that. I definitely remember that Abbey Road one. But this we talked about the story last week. Took a toddler, put him in a swimming pool, had him appear to be chasing after a dollar on a fish hook, and it's one of those things, man, for anyone my age, like I said, you take the names off of any of these albums we just named, which, you're going to recognize these albums instantly. And to me, that album cover was, looking back, there was a lot of 80s machismo hair metal, and the album covers just sucked. I mean, it was just the band, like, looking ridiculous, makeup. This album comes out, the band's not on it. It's a throwback almost to the 70s album covers where it's just a concept, like Dark Side of the Moon. I know Beatles are on Abbey Road, but Dark Side of the Moon is, you rarely saw Pink Floyd on, I'm not sure you saw them on any of their album covers, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that says it's about the music, dude. It ain't about us. Like, and a lot of people put themselves on album covers. And I understand why you might want to do that, but these bands were like, nah, we're pitching a message here, so... Yeah, I just love that album cover. You've seen it. And you're starting to see kids wear Nirvana shirts all over the place who don't even know who the band is. I saw a TikTok video the other day. This woman was taping her kid, and he had a Nirvana shirt. And she goes, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Who is it? What do you mean, who is it?" She goes, "What is that shirt?" He goes, "Oh, it's just a happy face." And she's like, "Do you know who that band is?" He goes, "Oh, they're a band? No, who is?" I'm like, "Oh, my God. That's feeling old 101 right there." So, yeah, Nevermind, definitely my fandom number 2. So... All right, John. Up to you.
I was worried you were going to take mine, but this album cover is almost a spoof. It's a black and white picture, and it's got writing on the side and on the bottom of green and pink.
I was going to take this, and I thought about doing it number 2.
And it's it's not Elvis Presley, but it's very reminiscent. It is the Clash. It's got a black and white picture of Mick Jones breaking his guitar.
I think it's a bass player.
You think he's a bass player?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's a bass player. Pretty sure. I love the Clash.
Yeah. But it's a great.
Oh, man. It's one of the. Yeah.
And it's heavily spoofing Elvis Presley's album.
Yeah. So Elvis Presley had an album in the 50s where the lettering was exactly the same. It said Elvis Presley, which came up in my research. I went, oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. But sorry. I mean, London Calling is like that. No, once again, phenomenal album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the albums I actually do not own on vinyl that I need to own it. I own the first Clash album, but I need to get this album. I love it. There's such great songs on it. But, man, I think the picture was accidental as well. I've read a lot about this. I can't remember it. I think
those are, the best kinds.
I think it's a blurry picture as well. And I think the guy just took a picture and happened to get it. And then apparently the band saw it and said, that's the picture. And I'm pretty sure it's a bass player, which is crazy that the Clash were just like, yeah, let's put that on there. Because they are on most of their album covers. But this one here, they're just like, nah, man. The chaos of it, the guy just destroying a bass. It's such a great one.
The driving force of the main song on the album, London Calling, it is almost has this kind of chaos drive to it.
Yeah.
Like almost anarchistic. And just it represents that picture of him breaking a guitar.
Right.
It just
it's fantastic. It's a fantastic album cover. It's one of the top 5 of all time. I mean, we probably have some of the top 5 all time on here, but yeah, that's one of my. Oh, I just love it. I think it's so great. I was always jealous of that album cover. I was like, yeah, it's a good one. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with my number 3. I'm gonna go more recent with this one, but if you ask any hip hop fan, what's one of the best hip-hop album covers of all time?
I think you're going to take
Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die.
Oh, okay.
It's a young...
Yeah, little kid version.
Little baby Christopher Wallace on the album cover. It's just a white album cover with just the baby right there, Ready to Die at the top. And I have spoofed this for art for the show. And to me, I just love that. I love simple covers as well. And I've noticed a lot of the ones that are in the great best of list usually are simple album covers. So they are just like that one, like Dark Side of the Moon, very simple. Nevermind, kind of simple and clean. Even London Calling is really that shot of that guy.
It's,
you know,
a black and white
clean
picture with writing on it.
You get too much on the album cover, it starts to become a little bit ridiculous. You know, it's like, this isn't so good anymore. But yeah, I Read It Dies is one of the best hip hop albums ever made. And just, I mean, you walk into the album store and you see that and you go, wow, what is this? This has got to be good. If this dude's putting himself as a baby in a diaper on the front of the cover, it's got to be one of the greats. So yeah, it's one of my top ones of all time. Read It Die, Notorious B.I.G. All right, now
well, I'll tell you what.
went.
You did a hip hop album.
Yeah, I want to hear what this is.
I'm gonna do a hip hop album.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with Drake's. If you're reading this, it's too late.
Oh wow! I would never ever.
I did not know about this.
This is insane moment in BYB history.
I did not know about this album cover before we started to do the research on it. But
Okay.
I saw it and I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
That's just for those who don't know, it's just a white canvas, and in just handwriting, it just says, you know, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yep.
And I mean, the first thought is like, okay, you're gonna die. I mean, when you read that.
Yeah.
But it could mean you're reading this, you're sucked in now.
Right.
I gotcha, for whatever reason. And so I was like, you know what? I gotta go with it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's good.
It's a good one. Yeah, I mean, Drake is hit or miss.
You were talking about simple. I mean,
yeah, it is simple.
It doesn't get much more simple than that. But I mean, I was like, I like this. I dig it.
He's got some good album covers as well. Am I the biggest Drake fan? No, I will listen to him and I appreciate his, and he's kind of in a beef right now with Kanye over this whole Donda versus his album coming out. It's interesting. If you ever get bored, just research their beef on online, because it goes back to Kim, and he had that song Kiki, Do You Love Me? And a lot of people speculate that was about Kim Kardashian. Kanye didn't like that, which I wouldn't like that either. If you're sitting here rapping about my wife on your album, like, bro, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, Drake's got some good album covers in. That's definitely one I saw on a lot of lists come up. Sometimes just simple and effective works, I mean, it's just as simple as to say. All right, when we come up to my last one, John, I've got some decisions to make because you actually grabbed my Clash one. So, but that's fine. It needs to be on the list because I'm kind of balancing here between two.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Oh my God, it's so tough when you get to number 4 because you're like,
it's your last one.
I had one, but I think I'm going to go with the one that I now have seen definitely spoofed. I believe they spoofed it as well. But I can't remember the band. Maybe the band was called the Feelies, I feel. But Weezer's Blue Album, I think, is a definitive. Just the band, just there on a blue cover. Doesn't say Blue Album. It's not. It's just Weezer. It's self-titled. Yeah. And they've gone on to actually make many self-titled albums with the color on it. But, man, that's one I own, and I just love the simplicity of just the band. They look like total nerds, total losers. So it's kind of telling you, like, we're dorks. This is going to be kind of dork rock.
And this is funny is because as far as bands that are known for making creative videos,
yeah,
Weezer's up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, you could name 5 at least right now that are definitive.
Just really, really good videos. Buddy Holly.
Say It Ain't So. You had, my God, what was the other one? Oh, my God. Hash Pipe with the sumo wrestlers in it. I mean, I'm a Weezer fan, so I could probably name you more. Dope Nose is another. They've got a bunch of, like, just great videos.
The video with the Mentos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's Foo Fighters.
No, that's the Mentos and the Coke.
Oh, yes. What is that? Oh, yes, you're right.
I was just talking to my family about it.
Oh, my God. What is that out? Yeah, that's all. I can't. Yeah, that's another good one. They've actually got a really good one off of Pinkerton called The Good Life. A lot of people have probably not seen the video. It's great. It's like a split screen where you're seeing 2 points of view of 2 different people. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, they make some great videos.
The fact that they make such great videos, but on their album covers, they're going so simple.
Yeah.
It's almost like a dichotomy.
Yeah.
And it's just like you've got so much in your tank, and then you give us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that one so much. Yeah. So, all right, John, up to your last one.
There are a lot of things that I really want to put on this.
Oh, I could do a top 50, man.
What's funny is the number 1 on every list that I researched.
Okay.
We have not mentioned yet.
Oh.
And I'm not mentioning it now because it doesn't belong on my.
You got to tell me this once it's over because
I'm
sure I saw it.
But I'm still there's two others that I want to put ahead of it. But I think you started off with Abbey Road, something super iconic. I think we have to end on something super iconic as well. I'm going to go with Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen.
I definitely had that one on my list for sure. I had that written down. Classic. And most people have Born to Run. I saw a lot of lists. I was like, Born to Run ranked higher than Born in the USA. Are you insane? Born in the USA is like an iconic album cover. I mean, it's a picture of just.
It's the back of him. He's got a red baseball cap with the background of the American flag.
Yeah.
And for those who really, really, really know the song, it is not an anthem for the United States.
Oh, it's anti-patriotic as can be, which is hilarious to me that many good old boys go around Born in the USA. Like, bro, you need to keep going along with those lyrics, man. It's talking about kids being sent to Vietnam, dying for their country. And I feel there's like a lot of parallels. I'm going to say it's about the military, and maybe I get shit for this. I don't really care, but
it's about giving your life for the United States and then not giving a damn back to you.
But I
You've
feel
got
like
all these veterans that are living on the street and
even now today.
Yeah, and so
I think the mythology of
another great album too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, top to bottom, the mythology of the armed forces in this country, I think, has done more to hinder getting help than it does anything else. Because like, you got to stand up for the troops, and all. It's like, bro, we need to help these people instead of standing up for them. We need to go helping them. Like they come back with PTSD, they broken relationships when they come back. They've been brainwashed. Their minds mush. I mean,
I'm just sorry if you're asked to take a life,
right?
You're changed.
Oh yeah. You
are a different person.
I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, I couldn't have done it. I just couldn't have. I couldn't even kill. There was a mouse that was in our garage the other day, a tiny little mouse that got in there, and Jake running. He goes, "There's a mouse that got in the trash can or something. I don't know how." And I brought it in, and my wife's like, "You need to kill that." I'm not killing that mouse. That is not me. I'm not killing any animal like intentionally. I did hit a bird with my car like 3 weeks ago. I felt really bad about it, but I don't know. What was I supposed to do?
It's not like you ran it down or anything.
No, it flew like literally right in front of my car and hit the grill, and I went, oh, no. I could see it like flapping on the ground. When I came back, it was gone. So in my mind, I'm like, it got away. But I know it probably did. But yes, I just think he was shedding a lot of light on that. There's glory days on it. It's a good album, just top to bottom. Yeah,
even some of the non-hits, or Billie Jean is a great song.
I went on a field trip to Florida in the 5th grade, and my dad let me borrow Born in the USA, and I listened to it the whole way up and the whole way back on my headphones. And man, it was just, love that album. So yeah, good choice, man. I definitely had that written down. I had about 10 written down that was on there. I think all the ones we did were. Okay, I want to know, let me run down our list. I want to hear what the number one you saw was and what are some ones you wish you could put on your list. Okay, I've got Abbey Road, Nevermind, Ready to Die, and Blue Album. John's got Dark Side of the Moon, London Calling, If You're Reading This It's Too Late, and Born in the USA. What was number one on most lists you saw?
The number one on every list, which is about 5 or 6 of them, was Velvet Underground and Nico.
Hey, it's a good album. Cover. I'm not going to lie. It's Andy Warhol-ish.
Yeah.
It's the banana. I get it. I was not going to put it on my list.
I was talking to somebody about it last night. I was like, I know it's kind of iconic, but at the end of the day, it's banana.
Yeah. But they were in the art scene, so it spoke to who they were as a band, too. Yeah. So I get it. And I'm not a Velvet Underground fan.
There's other albums that Andy Warhol's done.
Right. But he was very aligned with that group at the time. I think... Anyway, I'm not a big fan of Velvet Underground. I can't think of the guy's name, but the lead singer, I'm a fan of some of his stuff. But Lou Reed, that's what it is. Okay, a few that I'll just say. I was thinking about putting Nevermind the Bollocks by Sex Pistols. I love that album cover. Kiss's Destroyer is a great one. Them just larger than life, coming off the mountains, a pretty good one. I'm looking at some of these on the screen. That Rage Against the Machine one's a great one with the monks on fire. It's fantastic. And Rolling Stone's Sticky Fingers with
that was the one I having a time with between Born and the USA.
Yeah. One's an ass, one's the front, so you had it covered either way. What else? What else did you?
I mean, obviously, we mentioned it, but it's not on either of our lists. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rio by Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Bitches Brew by Miles Davis.
Huh.
That's one that was brought to my attention solely because of the research that I was doing.
Okay, gotcha.
Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division.
Oh, that's a very famous one. Yeah. I mean, people see that and they don't even know what that album is. Joy Division as a band sucks. Album cover's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you that.
British Steel by Judas Priest. It's a picture of a like a giant razor blade.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty
It's so
cool.
funny. I don't like Judas Priest, but I know the album cover. Once you said that, I was like, oh yeah. You didn't put Spinal Tap on there, did you?
I thought it was a joke. Let's see. Abracus by Santana, and She's So Unusual by Cyndi Lauper.
All right. Well, I saw that one. So that is a good album cover. Well, there you go. We missed a whole bunch. So I'm sure people, if you have a favorite album cover, let us know what it is, and I'm sure we'll probably hear back a few. But there's just so many good ones. That's the great thing about art and music and all that. Is that it all works out. Now I'm gonna give you a quiz real quick. The new Kanye West. So I know you're not gonna pick this one. The new Kanye West album cover is all black. Okay. We know Spinal Tap is all black, and then we know Metallica is all black, and Weezer had a black album. Of those four, which is the best album? You're gonna say Metallica, right?
I mean, probably yeah.
Okay. I think Spinal Tap may be better. I'm not being funny, dude.
But I mean, all the songs are kind of joke songs.
But they're good.
They're good.
They're good, bro. Come on, you telling me those songs don't come on? You're not rocking out to those, dude. Okay.
Fat bottoms, my girls.
Okay,
bottoms.
that one. What's the one about the money? Oh, I can't remember. Dude, go back and listen to those Stonehenge. Spinal Tap albums. I mean, it's pretty good. I know it's a joke. I
was talking to somebody, and the word 11 came up, and people our age. Someone says 11, you immediately have to say it goes to 11.
Right.
And they looked at me like, "What goes to 11?" And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me."
The biggest travesty on the old podcast I used to do with my brother-in-law, Corey, and I know he listens to this, so I'm sure he'll remember. He used to tell people, guests that came on, that he had watched Spinal Tap. And then there was one episode where he revealed he had never seen the movie. I was like, Corey, what? You've never seen You're a musician, bro. You've got to see.
A drummer.
Yeah.
No less.
Well, maybe that's why he didn't watch it. Maybe he saw his demise. I say
I don't want to spontaneously combust.
when we played shows with people, there were Spinal Tap jokes galore, especially being in a local band, being in shitty places to play. There's nobody there. The green rooms were atrocious. There were Spinal Tap jokes galore.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were living.
yes,
Spinal
we were
Tap.
literally living it just minus any amount of fame they had in the movie. But yeah. So anyways, great album covers. And so like I said, I would love to hear what other people's choices are. There's so many. We could literally probably have done a list of 50, but we did we did the Mount Rushmore. So we are wrapping that up, and that is the end of this episode. So yeah, we discussed many things. I just want to come back to, if you are feeling depressed, alone, suicidal, just hopeless, just know there are resources out there. You can call someone. It's simple as making a call, or call someone call a friend, call a relative. People care about you more than you believe.
And I mean, if you're feeling that way, watch some past episodes, and you'll see two people that are definitely worse off than you are.
There you go.
So.
Bringing it back around. So yeah, but to do that, you need to go to bybpod.com. That's our website. You go there. It's got all of our past episodes on it. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm still getting on the TikTok video. I love it, man. I'm just telling you. I'm sick of Twitter, John. I'm about done with it completely. It's a wasteland of just nonsense, right? Facebook, I stopped caring about a long time ago. I mean, that place is worse than Twitter, how is that even possible? It's just stupid. That IQ is much lower there. And then Instagram is cool, but there's not a lot of engagement. I'll just love the creative aspect of TikTok. I had actually the guys from Cobras and Fire were like, "Hey, I heard about your TikTok video. Can you send that to me? Because I'm not on TikTok." Get on TikTok, man. You don't have to make content. Trust me, it'll keep you entertained for a little bit at least. it's just nice to see this generation, and it's a lot of younger people. You know, there's some oldies like me, but they're finding ways to be creative, and they are funny. You know, there's some that are stupid, but it's that's what I like. That's what I liked about social media was the cleverness of it, and I feel Twitter's just, we hate Trump, we hate the left, we hate this, we hate Sarah Paulson in her fat suit. Like, really, bro? That's all you can complain about. You're doing pretty good. So, yes, but you can go to our website, grab all of our past episodes, subscribe, rate, review, all that fun stuff. You know, it's all out there to do, and just tell your friends about us. Tell your enemies if you want to do that to them. With all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.